Welcome to this presentation of Data Integrity and Validation Tools for Spreadsheets presented by SimCon Software. I'd like to share a little information with you about SimCon. We're a global company headquartered near Boston, Massachusetts. We pioneered Part 11 compliance for spreadsheets and Access databases over 20 years ago. We have a very large installed base of customers, over 530 countries. Our applications are proven and mature. They're based on client feedback and domain experience. We have a very strong development team with hundreds of years of total experience. We do offer 24/7 support, both for single and multi-site implementations and otherwise normal business hours. We are a Microsoft Gold partner, and we build everything with the specification of the ISO 27001 certification for information security. A little bit about benefits and unique features that we're offering in our solutions. Our Excel solution is a one-stop comprehensive solution for Excel spreadsheets, highly scalable, specifically designed for both single and multi-site implementations, a modern user interface, support for Office 365, SharePoint, and Office 2019. This is really one of the key benefits of eInfotree Excel module is the unchanged user experience. Users simply work in Excel as they always do. The controls run with the file. They're not dependent on a separate application. You can track VBA and macro changes in the audit trail and actually even see a visual side-by-side comparison of those changes. Files can be used in a work offline mode and then return to the primary source, and everything audit trail wise will be synced. You can restrict Excel menu options from our application, so the structure of your production values spreadsheet can be maintained without concern about changes. And we do integrate with email and LDAP. So we have two proven solutions for spreadsheet data integrity. The first is the one we've mentioned so far, eInfotree Excel module. That provides the Part 11 compliance for Excel with audit trail, security, and e-signature. It complies with the FDA data integrity guidance. It's an industry-leading solution used by hundreds of organizations. And you can bring your existing uncontrolled spreadsheet files under our controls actually in less than a few seconds. We also have a sister application called Excel Validator. And this application is designed to help you with the validation of your spreadsheets, and it can check, your validation process. It can help you move through that and ultimately output test cases to an IQ/OQ, which is built into the application. Very, very handy application, completely standalone from eInfotree Excel Desktop, but both of them certainly very, very sensible in terms of lifecycle management of spreadsheets. So let's talk a little bit about eInfotree Excel software for Part 11 compliance. There are three main pillars when it comes to Part 11. Those are security, audit trail, and e-signatures. You'll see in some of the slides a blue panel. These are direct lifts from the FDA Data Integrity Guidance Update in 2018. So the audit trail, one of those key pillars, is certainly a requirement that everyone looks for. The audit trail is going to record system entries with date, timestamp, user ID, cell address, type of entry, old value and new value as applicable. This is actually a view of the audit trail from within our application. And once again, we're tracking key elements that you would expect us to have in the audit trail, such as those that are listed on the right side of this screen. Now, the data integrity that was updated in 2018 said it was great to have a digital audit trail, but you certainly want to be able to have filtration and reporting tools to be able to meet your audit requirements or reporting requirements. So we built in three separate features into the application specifically to meet those needs. They are Audit Trail Query Builder, View Cell Change, and Cell Revision History. So e-signatures are an important part of Part 11, both for signifying sign-offs, either whether in the audit trail record or into the sheet itself for eye-readable e-signatures. But you can also use the e-signature component to be able to sign off on any task within a spreadsheet, and thus it can help you in terms of this typical work environment or the work environment we live in today, where users could be spread out across many locations. And this is a way to be able to sign off on data without having to print paper and then go through that process. The third pillar is security. We provide access at the file level, whether it's read, write, and of course no access if it's not one of those first two. We can lock calculations and or cells, so we have both file level and cell level security. You can lock macros and VBA and restrict things such as print and save as. Those last two bullets are, of course, examples of Excel menus that our application will allow you to manage directly from within eInfotree Excel module. There's a huge number of value add features that have been added to the application above and beyond the core Part 11 requirements. This is one of those. Compare workbook. This allows you to compare two workbooks of like kind. Think of it as version 1, version 2, or something along those lines, where you can actually see the changes that have occurred from one to the other, and then you can simply report out on that easily into a read-only Excel format, or simply document it, for your particular department or business requirements. A number of other advanced features are listed here. We do support Office 2019 and all versions of 365, as well as SharePoint libraries. I mentioned the Work Offline feature earlier. We also have a feature called File Watcher, and this is the ability of the application to look at any folder on your network where things such as spreadsheets arrive as outputs from other applications. Right then at that moment, they're not controlled by Part 11 requirements, so there could be gaps in the compliance or chain of custody. So we have a feature that allows our application to monitor folder locations, and from which we can automatically apply controls unattended by any user. We also have a feature called Create Remote Copy. This is very handy if you have users that still need to see what's going on within your production controlled workbook, but they're not licensed to work in eInfotree Excel module. You can create read-only or editable copies essentially of the spreadsheet you're working in. Think of it as a snapshot in time, with or without audit trail, and these can be shared with management internally or sponsors as an example, and they can then have views into the current state. Also, they can make suggestions. So that's a very handy feature to extend the visibility into the work output. And finally, multi-site support. We do offer a single database with multi-sites, or you can have databases at each and every site. It's completely up to you, but having a single database obviously streamlines process when it comes to looking up data and working with various parts of that database. So to finish up with eInfotree Excel module, this is a wonderful application. There's no need to replace Excel with expensive enterprise software. 8 of the top 10 life science firms use eInfotree to make their spreadsheets Part 11 compliant. It is a well-accepted software for compliance. There's virtually no learning curve for the users, easy to use and implement. All products are available, specifically this product with a complete validation package listed here as system requirements, functional spec, IQ, OQ, and trace matrix. And of course, SimCon can execute this remotely if required. So thank you very much for taking the time to review this PowerPoint. I hope that's been helpful information for you.